Hi, I'm Chef Raphael. Welcome to today's video. Today we are cooking and wow, we can call it a curry chicken with some cream. Now the cream, I'm using cooking cream from Brookside. I'll show you how to cook this whole dish, but more so in this video, I'm also going to tell you the difference between cooking cream and whipping cream. But most importantly, you learn how to make your chicken to look as delicious as this. Let's get started and you see how simple it is to make it. So welcome to the show, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so that you're actually notified whenever I have a new recipe out, especially when you hit the bell button. Now, today's ingredients, I have Kienyeji chicken. This is basically the hard chicken. It's hard because it's not the broiler version, which is usually soft. What I've done, I've already boiled it until it's tender. And when I was boiling it, I also added salt to it. And this is the liquid that I was using, the water, that the stock basically. So that's the first thing. And then we have cooking oil. For flavor, I'll be adding curry powder. Now you can use any other spice, or you can even skip the curry powder, but there's a flavor that you get when you're using curry powder, which is what I wanted for this meal. And then I have a variety of vegetables, carrots, onions, ginger, garlic, bell peppers, mixed colored, and whatever is missing here, which I'll also add to the food, is blended tomatoes. Now, tomatoes can be optional, but I want to have some color, and the tomato will give me that color that I want and flavor. Now, before we continue now, let's talk about the creams. Now we have cooking cream and we have whipping cream. Now this one is made by Brookside, and this is new for them with the cooking cream. They've been having whipping cream for as far as I can remember. And I'll start with the whipping cream. Now, whipping cream is what we use for baking. Now, first of all, even it says here on the pack that it needs to be refrigerated. When you're baking and you want to have a topping for the cake, or you have a dessert, you use the whipping cream. This is the one that you'll use for desserts. You can even make ice cream with it, because actually it's called ice cream and cream is this one. For the cooking cream, it's also dairy based. It's actually made from milk cream, and it has stabilizers and some flavoring that they have added to it. And it seemed like it's a little bit light, but when you cook with it, it actually becomes thick. What we use cooking cream for is to actually thicken the broth or the soup, or no, even when you're making soup, is for thickening. This is the ideal one for cooking, and you can't whip it. Now for the whipping cream, you'll definitely be able to whip it, and to be honest, you can even cook with it. But since you have this, then save this for desserts or any other thing, and then use this for cooking. We'll start by frying the chicken. The first thing you need to do is heat your pan, a little bit of oil. So again, when you're browning meat, I've said this in previous videos that I've done, is add the chicken in a way that all the pieces will be actually touching the bottom of the pot. And the idea again is to get it browned, because that's where the flavor will come from. So now the chicken is browned. Now this is what you want, this nice golden brown color. And then now the same pot, I've reduced the heat a little bit. Add a little bit of oil if need be. I'm adding the onion, ginger, and carrots. Now the carrots, I'm adding them now because they'll take a little bit longer to cook. So the idea right now is to let them start browning as well. Cook until they are soft and brown, and then I'll add the curry powder. So let's wait for this to brown. So now carrots and onion are slightly brown. I'll add the curry powder. Now the amount is dependent on the amount of chicken you have. I want some strong curry flavor, so I've added about 3 tablespoons. And then stir. Now you want your curry powder to cook, so it's a good idea to leave it for about a minute. And then at this point, after about a minute, I'll add the blended tomatoes, 3 blended tomatoes. I also threw in the garlic inside and blended it together, about 3 cloves of garlic. Now this is what I was saying will give the extra color that I want for the curry and flavor. I want it to be a little bit red. Now the salt is enough for the vegetables, that is the carrot, tomato and peppers. Remember the chicken, we already cooked it with salt, so you do not want to add too much salt. If you add too much salt, just consider the amount of salt you're adding is for the vegetables. So you actually let the tomato cook for about 2 minutes until it's reduced. And you can do that when it's covered on medium heat. So the next thing we're going to add is the peppers. Tomatoes is reduced. So this will actually be the vegetables for the food. It will also add some color. So the next thing after the adding the peppers, add the chicken and stir. And actually at this point I will add a little bit of the stock. Remember the stock has salt, so not too much, because I will thicken the chicken with the cream. So at this point you actually cover it and cook it for about 2 minutes on low heat. So now I'll actually now add the cooking cream. Now the amount again is dependent on how much gravy you want. Then stir, and then we let the food simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Remember the chicken is already cooked. Now we want it to simmer on low heat. When you add cooking cream, you add it towards the end. You want it to be the last one to cook when in the cooking process. You don't cook it too early. We usually add coconut, something like coconut cream, a little bit early, but when it comes to cooking cream, I would advise you add it towards the end so that it comes together and the food will start thickening. Food is ready. It smells really delicious. I love the colors of the peppers and everything. In fact, what is left here is to add a sprinkle of coriander, dhania. Now you can add it on the food, but I'll save a little bit to add on the plate, on the serving dish. So I usually like adding coriander at the very last moment. So I love the color. This is the red that I was talking about that I wanted from the tomatoes. The cream has come out really nice. It's nice and thick, not too light, not too thick. And the peppers and the everything. Generous amount of coriander. Remember, this is something that when you mix and serve, you'll actually get into the food. But for sure, you can also use the broiler chicken, the one that is soft. The only difference you not do is boil it first. Remember, today we are using the Brookside Farm Fresh cooking cream. Actually, I'm looking at this food, looks really yummy. I like the color contrast for the vegetables, the dish, everything. And I hope yours will turn out like this. Put your comments in the comment section. Let me know how yours turns out. Remember to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And try out the new Brookside cooking cream. And until next time, I'm signing out. Goodbye.